What's everybody? We're here with a math video for this very controversial event because, well, the math was not set in stone. Like, it changed, what, 4, 5, 50 times? Who knows? But that's why Scottie has this rule, and I agree with this rule. We do the math the day of. Like, we wait until it's actually in game to see what's actually going on. And even then, things might get changed around. But we're here to talk about the event. I don't even know what it's called. It's like Hella something, 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 something. It's the Miss Marvel Hard Light campaign event, which has a leaderboard on it, which has juicy rewards at the very bottom, as well as the monthly stuff. So here, Scotty's going to break it down for us. First things first, how's it going, Scotty?
Good. How's it going with you?
Very good. I'm excited for you to make me hate campaign events more than I already do. Let's get into it. All right, and then I'm just going to introduce this and then throw it to you. Okay. And here we are. Let's just look at what the events actually are before we jump into it too much. And you know what? Let me turn this border off so we can see what's going on exactly. So we got the Hala 0051 and then a web milestone. So Scotty, what are these events and how do they tie together?
So Hala is the main event in the game. There is more of a breakdown of the points as far as using Bifrost that they didn't have in the blog that's now live like in the event, and we saw it in the preview where actually it's individually using each Bifrost character at like 5, 6, or 7. So unfortunately, when it looked like we could just use Loki a bunch of times to make up the difference, they decided no. So that's that part, and then also opening the energized orbs, which you're going to get from the Miss Marvel campaign. And then there's the web milestone, which has changed a bit. When it first went live, it was supposed to be like a daily web milestone, but then that was like over 2,000 cores a day you had to spend.
I saw
So
that.
then they turned it into a 7-day long milestone, but didn't really increase the orbs that we get from it. And then today they took it down and put it back up and added, I think it was an extra like 1,100 milestone points to it. But basically the orb fragments and the milestone points both feed into the main event, which is the Hala event. And I kind of have two basic, like there's the completed all the way, which is 2,100 cores total over 7 days, which is 300 per day, which is obviously more reasonable.
It's not bad.
Or if that's still more than you want to spend, which is fine. The monthly items, like the 10 pads, it's 150 cores per day. And so on the side, I just kind of showed the difference between finishing it, which is all the way to the bottom, versus if you only do the 150 cores per day. For the monthly items, the stuff in gray, those orb fragments and milestone points you're not going to get for the event. And so I have that later on showing that track as well.
Perfect. I guess let's just jump right into it. Okay, math time, guys. Charts, numbers, colors. Which one are we looking at first?
This is the first track, which is like the Krakens. So this is just highlighting kind of what the max points you can get are. This is a leaderboard event, so obviously the Krakens are going to have a huge advantage here because they're going to get an extra 4,000 points per Bifrost character that they have at 7 stars, which a lot of us will not have.
Yeah.
Most of us will have Loki, but that's the other 4 that we won't have, so that is going to give them quite a big point advantage.
Right.
A shitty thing that Scopely did for this is opening the energized orbs is actually worth less than usual. So often opening an orb would be worth 2,000 points, but it's actually only worth 1,250. So it's even harder to make up that difference that they're getting by using those guys in raids. But we'll get onto that a little bit later. So just having Bifrost, and this is assuming you have 5 Bifrost characters, because by now we have gone through all their events, so you should have them all. You only have to use the group 8 times, so all 5 8 times. If you took a break from the game or you're very new to the game and maybe you only have a couple of them, It just means you're going to have to use a couple more times in total, but I still think it's something that most people would be able to do over 7 days. Just make sure you're not hogging the Mystic nodes so everyone can get their share, but it's got a limit on it, so it's not like people are going to have to fight over them for 7 days, which I think is at least one good thing.
Yeah.
Um, and then this is once again using all five all the way up to 7 stars. Um, and then on the right side is adding to that is looking at the campaign event. So today is basically a bonus day as far as using your cores for orb fragments. So that's what I'm calling the bonus day here. And so what I tried to map out is not only like using the cores, but which nodes to use them on. And what really made this hard and why Scopely hates me is every node has a different point value. So you can't just say per energy you get this many points because it just doesn't work that way. So basically, I mapped out the bonus day because if you're going to do 450 core and 400 core refreshes, that's going to give you 800 energy extra energy for the event. The initial clear of all the nodes I have listed here too, so everyone should get this as long as you're clearing the nodes. That gives you a little over 8,000 orb fragments, and then if you do the core refreshes today, that gives you a little over 5,000. So that's your kind of bonus day ones. And then after that, I calculated just the 7 days, and this is assuming you do your core refreshes before the event ends the last day. And then I mapped out the nodes basically, and you're basically going to start at the end of the campaign event and then work backwards because it just basically has decreasing point values from there. So you don't have to like jump around, but basically you're just going to start the furthest forward and go back. And then doing that for 7 days, adding everything together, gets you to 95,000. So that obviously gets you the monthly items and the last milestone, which is at 80,000. But this is a leaderboard event, so that'll get you to that amount of points without buying any offers. And this does include the free claim that they have on the website, which is 250 points, 250 points, assuming that stays the same over the 7 days. Because just the last event we had, the free claim actually was a little bit more the last day, so that may change a little bit.
Right on. So just so everyone is understanding what Scotty was talking about there, if we
It's a lot.
go and we yeah, so just the node point value thing. So the very last node is worth 160. I might do a video on that one because I've heard people are struggling on the Black Order stuff. Then it's 70 points. Then this one is worth 130, and then it's 65, and then 120, and then 60. And if we go to the hard campaign, similar, worth 100 points, and then 45, worth 80 points, and then 40, and it's like a cascading effect. Who knows why they did it like this? But it definitely lends to the they
Make me
hate Scotty.
crazy because Scopely hates me.
It
That's
definitely
why
leads to
they did
that.
it.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to the next track, which is a little bit less, right? This is assuming what?
So this is assuming you have all of Bifrost at 6 yellow, which I don't even have, so I can't even do this. But it was basically just to show you that if you don't have anyone at 7 and you have them all at 6, but you have Loki at 7. I'm just assuming everyone has Loki at 7 because he's been around so long.
Right.
You will actually be just shy if you do everything else the same, doing the core refreshes all the same. You'll be at 79,500. So you'll just be shy of finishing the last milestone. So I guess you technically can buy just one of the cheap offers to get over there. But it's showing you the difference between like your I guess your whales and your krakens. Because then the people that only have them at 6, you're gonna be over 15,000 points behind the krakens in the leaderboard.
Oof. Which would just be a colossal amount of cores to catch up on that.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. All right, so then moving on to the next one. This is obviously a much more relaxed approach to this event, which I mean that's not a bad thing. So why don't you walk us through this one?
So this is just for kind of the the people that only have Bifrost. They maybe don't have any of them 5 stars or more. Maybe you have Loki, but maybe you're fairly new and you haven't farmed Loki and you don't actually have him more than 5 stars. Just showing that with the web milestone, if you do just the 150 cores per day and get the free claims and you at least do your raid battle with Bifrost, um, not spending any cores on the campaign itself, but just doing your free to play energy. So your initial clear is your bonus day, but you're not doing any core refreshes today or throughout the rest of the 7 days. You're still easily going to get the monthly items, which is at least good, because those were at the 29,000, and that gets you to the, I think it was 36,000. So that'll actually get you a one extra milestone. So you at least that should be stress free.
Right on, right on. And so, would you suggest during this event that even if you're new, should they be switching their cores to the hard light campaign event? My thought is I would do that if I was a new player simply for the shards, not even thinking about the event because it's a new arena character. Would that help at all with the milestones, or is that just way too much math to even worry about?
What do you mean?
Like if we were to, you said not coring the campaign. So if we switch these
Oh,
150 cores on the regular campaign instead of doing it on the hard light campaign, would that get people extra goodies, or should they just do that simply for the hard light shards?
oh, I mean, it'll get you probably further in the milestones because everyone's gonna fall in between, basically, just being shy of finishing the event and getting the monthly items at 15. So you'll fall in between, and I mean, she is gonna be an important character for Arena. So if you're new, you kind of want her and her team for Arena, so you can move up and get more cores and get stronger, etc. So I think she would be a good thing to shift to because she's going to be a strong character going forward.
Yeah, I agree. And I kind of live in a bubble of the end game players, but I think the vast majority of players, like just percentage wise of the player base, probably falls into this category who they don't have 5-star Bifrost like anybody except Loki, right? Especially because, they decided not to have Sylvie's monthly event end before doing this. So the vast majority of Sylvie shards are still locked. That's great. Uh, Moving on. So let's look at the rewards that we're actually going to get for this. This is the milestones. You know what? I'm actually going to jump over to games a little bit more clear. So if I scroll down here, this will be like your final rewards that we can get for hitting that 80,000. How do you feel about these rewards? And do you think this is worth that extra effort?
So they actually added those today because this was their compromise for people being annoyed by them changing or not elaborating on the fact that you needed each individual Bifrost at each of the 5, 6, and 7 stars. So this was their compromise that they put out today. They took down the event and made an announcement and then put it back up.
Right.
So initially we weren't getting the gear tier 18 at all in this event in the milestones.
Right. Can we talk about that
So
for a second? So they're giving us gear tier 18 bio pieces,
yeah.
not mutant for hard light, not mystic for Bifrost, bio pieces. Why? Anybody? Can anybody explain why?
It makes absolutely no sense. I honestly think they just didn't think about it and then they just put it out and they're like, fuck it.
Yeah, screw it. It's good for 2099. It's good for Spider Woman DD6. Get
It's
it
good for
there.
Photon, right? She's bio.
It's great for Photon. True. How do you like these unique pieces? So we're getting 50 of these Prometheans. That's really good for her, right? To help her get up there. Do you think it's worth chasing this second last milestone for people?
I I mean, it's dark promos, it's mini uniques. I mean, that's a good amount of stuff there.
Yeah.
Um, but it is luckily that milestone is much lower than the final milestone. So the people that maybe only have a couple characters at 6 yellow should be able to get there as long as they're doing their core refreshes.
Nice. And then like the big reward, the reward that's not meant for 99.9% of players, the ranked awards. Holy jumping. They're just giving away red stars now. Talk about blue stars incoming. Am I right? A new character just giving away the 7s. And then
See, I care less about the red star. I think what
too.
mostly people are going to be going for are the uniques, like the mini uniques.
Yeah, I agree. That's about 6.25 or 6.5 pieces of mutant gear right there. Sorry, 3.5.
Though the good news is the people that are going to get those are not the people that need them because they're already
Yeah.
done DD6.
Oh, long done DD6. These are just the guys that are now going to have gear tier 18 full unlimited team when you face them in Crucible. That's all they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
What are we thinking for top 1 to 2%. You think the people that complete the milestones are a shoe-in for the 1 to 2%? Because that's some pieces, right? That's almost a full Gear Tier 18 piece.
I would say if you complete them for sure, but like I said, even the people that have them all at 6 yellow are just going to be shy of completing the milestones. So, yeah, I think if you complete them, you're probably going to be in that top 1 to 2.
Right on. And after that, it's a sharp drop off from there, isn't it? So this is still our nope. There's no Gear Tier 18. Oh my God, this is Big Boy Apocalypse chasing all over again. You are not meant to get Super Scroll if you are not top 1 to 2%. Sorry guys. Scopely hates Scottie and apparently hates you too. And on that note, I think we'll wrap the video up. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I hope it helped you in planning for this event. At the end of the day, for the vast majority of players, I think you'll agree with me here. The most important thing is that the monthly events items are super easy. So these canisters here, they're not even a half of the total milestone points needed to complete the event. So
I already got both of them.
Yeah, both. What? Oh, you did raids. I didn't do raids.
I did raids and I did my campaign, and I was like, oh, there they are. Okay.
There you go. So you get your raids done, and then you get that. And I think that's fantastic because I do really like this store, especially for newer players. You know, maybe I don't need these characters, but a lot of the characters in the store are phenomenal with the invaders, with the new warriors that are in there. I want to say there's some nowhere characters in there too. There's no nowhere characters in there.
I don't think so.
All right.
I haven't seen any.
I'm a dirty liar. That's the end of the video. Bye, guys. Bye. Good luck in the event. Bye. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.